Nancy Pelosi's husband attacked.
Our officers observed Mr. Pelosi and the suspect both holding a hammer.
Their San Francisco home invaded. Cops say the man who did it on a mission to find the House Speaker. What we know about how he got in and the hunt for a motive. The rise of political threats against Congress, the new alarming numbers, and concerns over the country's direction. Perspective tonight from historian John Meacham.
This is Elon Musk's show now. As we know, he is the chief twit.
Taking over Twitter, the moves Elon Musk is already making and how he plans on making any big content decisions. Pulling out the big names. Former President Obama hits the campaign trail while President Biden makes his own appearance. The tight races they're focusing on. Plus, Tom Brady retires from his marriage. The hero firefighter saving lives in his off time. And remembering rock and roll pioneer Jerry Lee Lewis.
Live from
rock and roll legend Jerry Lee Lewis died today. He was 87, perhaps best known for his 1957 hit Great Balls of Fire. Lewis's life wasn't without controversy, but that didn't stop him from leaving an indelible mark on the music world. Just last week, he was inducted into the Country Music Hall of Fame. NBC's Scotty Schwartz now with more on the icon.
In the history of America's greatest musicians, Jerry Lee Lewis was an earthquake.
Whole lot of shaking going on.
The man who could shake nerves and rattle a crowd with music erupting from his fingertips. Great Balls of Fire still bringing down the house as recently as Top Gun Maverick. But it was in 1957 that Lewis first burst onto the Memphis music scene, telling Bryant Gumbel on the Today Show in 1993 that before him, there was no rock and roll.
I learned to play pretty fast, pretty quick, but I didn't get any directions from anybody else to play.
While his rock star antics would become the stuff of legend, a fistfight with Janis Joplin, crashing his car into the gates of Elvis's Graceland with a loaded gun, married 7 times, his third wife was his 13-year-old cousin, and the uproar that followed ended his British tour, portrayed in the movie Great Balls of Fire.
Great balls of fire.
But through the years, his wild sounds on one of the most revered classical instruments would inspire generations of musicians, from Elton John to the Beatles. Lewis passing at age 87 while his influence lives on, a legacy left by one of the first bad boys of rock and roll.
I'm here. I love you. I couldn't have done it without you.
For the news, I'm Gotti Schwartz.
Officials eruption from the largest active volcano on Earth. The signs they're seeing underground that have them concerned. Plus, you ready for some baseball? The World Series starts tonight in Houston, and with it, a whole lot of bets on which team is going to win. Phillies or Stros? The huge sums of money at stake this year, and the one guy who could make history with his bet.
If you still just pushes them to these offshore accounts, which the gambling industry is actively fighting.
Pelosi's husband suffers a skull fracture and underwent emergency surgery after an intruder with a hammer stormed their home in San Francisco and attacked him. Sources say the attacker was shouting, "Where is Nancy?" The suspect facing several charges. Elon Musk already making big moves cleaning house after taking over Twitter. He says he won't make any decisions to reinstate former President Trump or other banned users until he forms a content moderation council. And a live look at Georgia, where former President Obama is hitting the campaign trail with just 11 days to the midterms. That race is deadlocked and critical in determining which party controls the Senate. And now you know the news of this Friday, October 20th.
DHS released highly anticipated September border numbers late Friday night, past 11 p.m. Eastern, and they are historic. The numbers reveal there were more than 227,000 migrant encounters in September, the highest September in DHS history, and the equivalent of 2 full-capacity University of Michigan football stadiums. Fiscal year 2022 ended with nearly 2.4 million migrant encounters. That's equivalent to the population of Houston, and it's the highest fiscal year ever recorded, not including 600,000 known gotaways in the year. There were also 98 Border Patrol arrests of suspects on the FBI's terror watch list in fiscal year 2022. That's nearly quadruple the previous 5 fiscal years combined. CBP sources tell Fox in this Del Rio sector, in just the first 3 weeks of October alone, there have already been more than 29,000 illegal crossings here. In the Rio Grande Valley, video provided by a law enforcement source shows a group of drug smugglers in broad daylight loading up a waiting vehicle with bundles of drugs.